Thailand in 2025 feels different the moment you arrive. The air is heavy with reflection, a nation both grieving and quietly rebuilding its rhythm. For visitors, it can be confusing. One day the mood feels somber, the next alive with celebration. National Mourning has brought a wave of introspection that touches everything, from the way people dress to the songs you hear at night markets. Black ribbons hang beside golden temples, reminding travelers that Thailand's joy and sorrow often coexist. If you've visited before, you'll notice subtle changes. Music is softer, nightlife hours slightly reduced, smiles more subdued, but no less sincere. It's not about sadness, it's about respect, an entire country pausing to honor its history. Yet, step into a Bangkok cafe and life hums beneath the surface. The baristas still laugh, travelers still plan island hops, and the sound of tuk-tuks never fades. This is how Thailand mourns. With grace, not gloom. For expats, the shift has been emotional but manageable. Communities across Chiang Mai, Hua Hin, and Phuket have adapted with quiet solidarity. Many long-term residents say it's deepened their bond with the Thai people, a shared moment of humanity. The ceasefire news, meanwhile, has cast a different kind of light. For years, border tension and political uncertainty kept nerves high. Now, a fragile peace has given Thailand something rare: collective relief. You can feel it in conversations with locals. There's cautious optimism, as if the nation is exhaling after holding its breath for too long. Markets reopen, families reunite, and even the headlines sound less divided. For Western travelers, that means one thing: opportunity with responsibility. This is still one of the safest, kindest countries to explore, but awareness matters now more than ever. In Bangkok, tourism has returned in bursts. Sukhumvit and Siloam swing between quiet weeks and sudden hotel surges as travelers flood back in waves. High season has become unpredictable, not a steady tide, but a heartbeat that skips and restarts. The data backs it up. Arrivals spike after every ceasefire announcement, then dip when mourning restrictions tighten. For hotel owners, it's chaos. For budget travelers, it's a rare window to experience Thailand's best without the crowds. Some luxury resorts in Phuket and Koh Samui have begun offering unprecedented rates, 5-star stays for under $100. But the tone has changed from party to peace. The vibe now leans toward mindfulness and cultural respect. Even nightlife in Pattaya and Phuket has softened around the edges. Where EDM once shook the ground until sunrise, now there's live acoustic music, respectful pauses, and conversations that feel almost nostalgic. Bars dim their lights earlier, not out of fear, but to honor the atmosphere of remembrance that lingers across the nation. It's a delicate balance between joy and restraint, and Thailand is mastering it gracefully. For digital nomads and long-stay expats, this is an introspective era. Many are using the slowdown to reconnect with purpose, trading late nights for early meditation or community projects. In Chiang Mai's Nimmenhamen district, cafes are quieter, but the Wi-Fi hums with creativity. Expats speak of renewal. Thailand feels like it's finding its soul again, one American writer told me. Meanwhile, in the south, the islands tell another story. Koh Lanta and Krabi are emerging as sanctuaries for travelers seeking reflection instead of recreation. Temples host sunset prayers for unity, while beach bars serve herbal teas beside candlelit tributes. Tourism hasn't disappeared. It's simply evolving toward meaning. For Western visitors, this version of Thailand may feel slower but deeper. It's less about bucket lists and more about connection, listening, learning, and showing empathy through your presence. If you're planning a trip, timing matters. The early high season sees fewer festivals, while February to April brings gradual reawakening as mourning protocols ease. Respectful attire remains appreciated in urban areas, and travelers are encouraged to avoid flashy displays of celebration. Simple gestures, a wai, a bow, a quiet word of condolence, go further than you think. Even at the airports, you'll sense the mood. Staff greet you with softer smiles. Announcements play traditional Thai music instead of pop jingles. It's a reminder that travel is cultural immersion, not just consumption. Yet Thailand's beauty refuses to fade. Golden temples still shimmer at sunrise, the Gulf still glows turquoise, and street vendors still call your name with warmth that never wavers. That's the paradox of 2025 Thailand, grieving yet glowing, pausing yet welcoming. It's what makes this chapter of the country so unforgettable. Many Western expats say they've never felt a stronger sense of belonging. When you witness a culture handle loss with grace, it changes how you see resilience. Check the link below for my recommended anti-theft backpack. It's what I use to blend practicality with respect in Thailand's temples and cities. Because travel here isn't just about movement anymore, it's about mindfulness. Now, let's travel deeper, beyond Bangkok and Phuket, into the quieter provinces where change is visible but hope runs deep. Head north toward Chiang Rai, and you'll find a different rhythm. The hills are green again, tea plantations reopened, and homestays now welcome both locals and foreigners seeking calm. The economy here isn't booming, it's balancing. Farmers who once sold only to tourists are now exporting direct online. Small villages have learned to survive without waiting for tour buses. That resilience has made northern Thailand one of the most authentic destinations in 2025. In Aizan, the country's poorest region, the spirit remains unbroken. Festivals are smaller this year, but the laughter feels louder against the quiet. Foreigners who live there describe a closeness they never found in big cities. People here don't talk about the crisis, one expat said. They just feed you and pour you rice wine. That generosity explains why so many Westerners keep returning, even in uncertain times. Down south, recovery takes a different shape. The islands of Koh Phangan and Koh Tao are redefining tourism around wellness instead of nightlife. Yoga retreats, digital detox resorts, and community beach cleanups are replacing full moon chaos. Visitors call it the new Thailand high, peace instead of party. Locals welcome the change. Less noise, more respect, a dive instructor told me, smiling beneath his mask. He said income dropped but happiness rose, a strange, beautiful trade-off. Phuket, once the symbol of over-tourism, has become the testing ground for balance. Luxury resorts run on solar panels, and taxi drivers speak proudly of clean beaches instead of club openings. Western travelers still come for sunsets and massages, but they now leave with something deeper: gratitude. Because witnessing a nation mourn yet stay kind is a lesson in grace. For expats, 2025 has been a year of introspection. Many arrived for tropical comfort and stayed for cultural humility. Visa renewals are smoother, healthcare remains excellent, and communities in Hua Hin and Chiang Mai are more connected than ever. There's an unspoken understanding. Thailand gave them refuge, so they give respect in return. The housing market mirrors the mood, stable but cautious. Rents in Bangkok have dipped slightly, while rural properties gain value as expats seek peace and space. Remote work has made it easier than ever to live affordably in paradise. But life here still demands cultural awareness. Patience, politeness, and empathy matter more than cash. For short-term visitors, Thailand 2025 offers mixed blessings. Flights are affordable, crowds are thinner, and service feels more personal than it has in years. Yet you'll sense the nation's introspection everywhere. In music choices, in ceremonies, even in silence. It's travel that asks you to slow down, observe, and align with its pace. Temples remain the emotional anchors of this season. Locals light candles not only for leaders but for peace itself, a shared wish that echoes through every province. You might find yourself joining in without knowing why. Because in Thailand, emotion isn't taught. It's felt through gestures, scents, and smiles. By December, high season will surge again. Flights will fill, nightlife will return, and hotel lobbies will hum with global voices. But beneath the celebration, the humility of 25 will linger, a quiet reminder that travel is a privilege, not a right. Thailand learned that truth the hard way, and it welcomes those who understand it. For Western travelers planning the months ahead, flexibility is key. Book stays with changeable dates, respect local observances, and remember that patience is part of the journey. This isn't a year for bucket lists, it's a year for presence. The more gently you move through Thailand, the more it opens its heart to you. Evening falls over Bangkok's skyline, and the city glows with restrained beauty. Traffic roars, temples shimmer, and somewhere a street musician plays an old mourning song with quiet hope. It's a moment that defines modern Thailand, sorrow and celebration woven into the same melody. No other country holds contrast so gracefully. As you pack to leave, you'll notice how calm you've become. Maybe Thailand's stillness has rubbed off, that unspoken wisdom of smiling through uncertainty. You'll think back to the headlines predicting collapse and chaos. Then you'll remember the kindness, the balance, and the peace you found instead. Thailand 2025 isn't broken. It's just breathing, slower, wiser, and more aware of what truly matters. Check the link below for my recommended anti-theft backpack, the same one I've used across Bangkok's night markets and Phuket's piers. Travel safe, travel softly, and honor the rhythm of the land of smiles, even when it falls silent.